tourism should be a regenerative practice, I mean that it should help to make things better again. Actually, to be very honest, in our work in Flanders, we don't even use the term regenerative. Sometimes I do say that what we want to achieve, we call it a flourishing destination, is based on a regenerative model or regenerative thinking. And that's the only time that I use the word. And again, why? Because the flourishing destination is much more appealing. It makes people better understand what you mean, because a flower is like a symbol that everybody knows, while a regenerative model really, it's hard to explain. And so we explain it very easy when we say that instead of just growing tourism, we want tourism to flourish. Or to help our community flourish. So we don't just want to grow it, we want to flourish, which means that you really broaden the effects of tourism and you don't just go one way up the line with the numbers. Now, Bruges is a very, let's say, medieval city. So there's a lot of religious heritage, and the project is about a religious heritage site. It's a kind of a nunnery, you know? Yeah. Or convent, I think the name is maybe. But the situation is the following. So there used to live a lot of nuns in this building. It's a big building. And now last year there were only 4 of them left. And now it happens to be that they will be left only with 2 of them. So you see what will happen. They will be kindly asked probably to move out of the building and or go to an elderly home or find something else. And the ladies, they didn't like the idea. And they came to us, so Visit Flanders, the National Tourism Board, and they said, we have this idea of becoming a tourist attraction. Yeah, because they knew, okay, we're in the middle of Bruges, we have the full potential out in the streets there, but nobody ever came into the nunnery, of course. And then they showed us these old songbooks of religious songs, and they have them in their own private library. Now, these are very valuable. We don't know really what the value is, but it definitely means a lot if you are known in this library value, let's say. But the question of the nuns was, could we open our library to the public? Because if we could do that, then we are also, we actually have a license to stay in our building. And then the classic answer of a tourism board is then, okay, a tourist attraction. So this means that you will have at least 100,000 visitors. It means that you need to have opening hours between 9 and 5 p.m. and things like that. And then they went home and they were completely sad, I think, because they couldn't do that. And they also tried to explain, like, we have hours of silence in our nunnery, so we cannot have guests at these moments, so it's impossible for us. And this really was a catalyst in our thinking of what do we want? Do we really stick to the criteria of a tourist attraction according to the tourism industry? Or if we really want to help these people and make them flourish, we need to adjust. And so we did. So they can have their own opening hours, which are very limited. But what we have seen, and they were only open a few months because of COVID-19, but what we have seen so far is that the people that went there were really very enthusiastic, not only about the library, but also about the fact that they were in a living active community of nuns. So they really got to talk to them and see and sensed how they lived. And for the nuns, yeah, it really meant a lot of them because they could stay there, they could live there, and it made them also much more flourishing because they were so happy to tell the story and to share it. So this is a project in the city of Bruges with a lot of tourists, but by having this kind of how do you call it, this little match between people that have a real interest and respect for them, And those people that really want to open up for people like them and make them also stay in a place where they otherwise couldn't have stayed, well, this was a step towards a flourishing place destination in Bruges. On a personal level, yeah, I think it goes hand in hand, you know, by being ambitious in the job. That's what makes me read books like The Great or The Good Ancestor and things like that, because the same goes for my kids, right? I also want to be a good mom for my kids, so I must. Yeah, I must be showing them the real values in life that are important, and it's not consumerism and things like that. So Belgium is very much known as a recycling country. And this really is an easy message. Everybody understands it. But for instance, my garbage outside, it has how do you call this, a meter, no, yeah, so it really tells me how much garbage is in it. So it makes me conscious about what I have of garbage. It also makes it much more fair because I only pay for my garbage, but we also recycle like crazy, so we have like different kind of baskets, but this makes it better for the whole world. So it's just this easy example of recycling, that they are convinced of that. So if they see other options, and I think that's why it's so important for regenerative practitioners to show it in a very easy way and say that, you know, you can do this, it's not difficult, and then take them step by step. That's what my advice for a leader will be.